Greetings, peace and love, y'all. So welcome to another video. Today I want to be sharing some tips on how to save money while having a baby. So baby on a budget, if you will, right? As exciting as it is to have a baby, sometimes it can stretch your finances a bit. And if I look down a lot today, y'all, I always tell y'all I take notes. So I want to make sure I am staying on point and not rambling. So please forgive my children if you can hear them in the other room. I do have children, y'all. I am a dad, so they are making noise in that room. So let's jump right into it. Tip number one. So I have a tip number one here: buying in bulk. Buying in bulk. So I think every parent, really just everybody in general, but definitely if you're a parent, you have children or family, everybody should have some sort of wholesale membership, right? Be it Costco, Sam's, or whatever is available in your local area. I know Costco and Sam's is not, nationwide. So whatever is available in your local area as far as like wholesale pricing, make sure you get a membership to save you some money. Or if you do not have a wholesale membership, whenever you go to the store, try looking at price per unit versus just the price itself. Sometimes you might have to spend a few more dollars to get a better deal when it comes to price per unit, but then that translates to way more money you're saving over time because you are paying a lot less per unit, and that saves you a lot of money down the road. Tip number two, I have don't overbuy baby clothes. With newborns, you want to make sure you are not overbuying. Newborns grow out of clothes so fast, and really just babies in general, right? For example, a newborn a lot of times is considered the first 3 months. So if you go overboard with purchasing newborn clothing, after that first 3 or 4 months, you probably will have to get rid of the majority of the stuff that you bought, as now the baby's going to be getting close to 6 months, right? And then of course, when you get close to a year, baby won't be able to fit anything from 6 months. So it's very important, as tempting as it is to go overboard, try not to go overboard when it comes to purchasing clothes for your baby, because they will grow out of things before you know it. Tip number three is buying used. When it comes to buying used items, I'm talking about, checking your Craigslist, checking your Facebook Marketplace, checking eBay, checking the used section of Amazon. So before you go check out, check on the right hand side there. A lot of times you can see if maybe they have something available for refurbished prices. Now the huge con here about buying used items is sometimes you cannot return it. So that's the only thing to think about sometimes when you're buying used, like, hey, will I be able to return this if it either doesn't? You will save money by not buying brand new. And then also, don't forget your thrift stores either. Do not underestimate the power of thrift stores. Right? You can get a lot of stuff at thrift stores. Matter of fact, a lot of times we go thrifting and actually find brand new items still with tags still on it. Right? So don't forget your thrift stores when it comes to used items. So number four has three parts to it. Number four deals with freebies, getting items for free that you do not have to pay for. But we do have three parts for it. The first part is building a great relationship with the people in your circle who have children that are slightly older than yours. When their children grow out of stuff, you want to make sure you are in line to receive whatever their children have now grown out of. Part B of that is the free sections on the internet, right? There are plenty of places where people literally are just giving stuff away. So for example, the free section of Craigslist, the free sections of Facebook Marketplace, and a few other websites also that I'll put on the screen, where people are literally just giving stuff away. And then so part C, or the third part of that, is taking advantage of your city or county organizations, also your local nonprofits. There are plenty of organizations that are designed to help people who are having children, whether it's single moms, low income, or really just families in need in general. You don't have to be low income to actually be in need, right? There, for example, when I go volunteering, I volunteer at the food bank, and we put boxes in people's cars after we sort them out. And I'm still surprised every time by seeing the types of cars that pull up to receive a free box of foods. Yeah, sometimes a lot of those cars are really expensive looking cars. People drive way better looking cars than I, and I'm the one volunteering to put free food in their cars, right? So you don't have to be low income to be in need. So if you have a need, go online and just check to see if you have any city or local organizations, or even just nonprofit organizations that are specifically designed to give. Also, double check to see if you qualify for any government assistance programs. I know not everybody is on board when it comes to welfare, but honestly, if you need it, why not? Like, we pay taxes, right? I know I do. So if you pay your taxes, all that money that comes out of your check, you might as well sign up for some additional government assistance if you actually qualify and you need it. Tip number five is clearance sections. I make it a point never to leave the grocery store without checking our clearance section. That's one of my favorite sections of every store, actually. It's just, I'm just that dad, y'all. For example, we're in the third trimester, and there have been multiple occasions already where I have found some newborn diapers, and I've been stocking up on them to where now I have several packages of newborn diapers that I barely paid anything for because they were on clearance. Number 6. Now, number 6 comes with a disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, y'all. I am not certified. It's just for entertainment purposes, and I'm just sharing with you what has worked for me, right? So if you know you are disciplined financially, or we have a decent amount of credit, sign up for credit cards that have some really good intro bonuses. Now, for me personally, I always like to go for no annual fee and 0% interest for at least a year, right? So that means I'm not paying any interest for at least a year. Now, obviously, you want to make sure you're responsible and you're paying this off as soon as you buy it. If you don't, you're going to end up in the worst situations. Don't even try it. So, for example, there are certain credit cards that I sign up for where, it says, hey, if you spend $1,000 within the next 60 days, you get an extra $200 credit to your account. Right now, this is money I'm going to spend anyways, right? We all pay rent, we all pay bills, right? And so just use your credit card for those bills. Before you know it, you reach that amount and you get you a few, several $100s on the back end, or maybe just rack up some points. Some people call it credit card churning, and I love it. Making sure you are using the credit card companies and they're not using you instead. And tip number 7. Tip number 7 is waiting. I know sometimes it can be so exciting to build up a baby registry and all these things, but there are so many things that you'll quickly realize once you purchase them. Man, like, my baby really does not need this, right? So sometimes by waiting first just to see, hey, is there really a need for this? Do I really need a rocker? Sometimes you might really not. And also, if you do purchase something, don't be afraid to return it, right? So that's a bonus right there. So don't be afraid to return things that you do not need. And this is only if you buy them brand new. Obviously, if you buy everything used, sometimes it becomes a challenge, but there are certain used items you can return. So for example, let's say you buy a bassinet, and after the first 2 weeks, you quickly realize we actually have no need for a bassinet. We actually would rather put our babies elsewhere as far as a place to sleep. But try to wait things out to see whether or not you really will need the item. Now, this is going to work for a lot of people if you are in the early stages of pregnancy, is a birthing center. Depending on your situations, some people will save a lot of money by going to a birthing center instead. We have went to a birthing center through all of our pregnancies, including our third one right now. And first of all, the experience is absolutely amazing. I'm going to be making a video just on birthing centers altogether. But that a lot of times birthing centers will charge you way less than the actual hospital. Now, the only challenge is, now some birthing centers might not accept certain insurances or Medicaid and so on. So that sometimes can be a bit tricky. But a lot of times birthing centers are a lot more affordable than having a baby at a hospital. But only just make sure they're certified and they have like actual midwives who are, medical professionals and have done this a bunch of times, right? I hope these tips have been very helpful to you. If you have anything else that you feel will be helpful to other families, please feel free to drop it in the comments so that you can help more people. Thank you so much for watching today. Peace and love, y'all. Catch y'all in the next video.